Nanu Nanu, hello and welcome back to episode 2 of Mystical Block. And I've been a busy bee since last episode. I've done a whole bunch of grinding. I might have got a little bit carried away, but I'm going to update you with everything that I've done by turning the camera around. Boom. Yes. As I say, I got far too excited. So I've set up quite a big area now. These are 8x8 areas for the Inferium seeds, the dirt seeds and the wood seeds, which we got last episode. I've also, off camera, worked on the stone seeds, which were part of the quest line here. So cobblestone I was managing to get through going to the mining dimension, and then to make the seeds was actually really easy in the seed reconstructor, just like the other seeds that I made. We just needed 4 stone, 4 Inferium essence and an Inferium seed to create the stone seeds. So yeah, it really didn't take long to grow these. If I harvest these, basically get my sprint on, and look at that, boom, done. Harvest, sprint around, boom, done. So yeah, a little bit too easy, but I don't know, it's done. I like it because it takes some of the grind out. So yeah, we've got some storage drawers as well. You know, storage is okay, but we are going to work on something else today. What else did I do? So I've actually got some notes here. So let's have a look in here. So from this first sort of tree that I was following. Oh, do you know what? I haven't done the culinary station. But yeah, last episode we obviously done the tinkery bits here to get us into the mining dimension. I've managed to get the 64 wood essence, so I'm actually going to hand that in and get some free bread. And I've also made a whole bunch of colossal chest walls and a core, or a couple of cores actually, which are in here. There's the wood essence that I was just saying about, the stone seeds that I've created. I've also managed to, whilst mining, find some prosperity shards and obviously get some iron. Now, to actually get the iron as such, to get the iron ingots, we needed a furnace. And the furnace has got a slightly different recipe in this pack. If we actually go and have a look. So, cobblestone on the top, but the bottom actually needed smooth stone. Now, what we can do in this pack, if I actually grab some cobble, there we go, we'll grab 4, but you can pop it on the campfire and that will cook it. So that will cook it into the stone, and then you can cook it again to get the smooth stone, and then boom, furnace made and complete. And look at that, didn't take long at all. So yeah, got the furnace, started making some iron. That's allowed me to do a couple of bits and pieces, including some more mining. I've also made some stone hammers, so I was smashing up cobblestone, and then from that, when you smash cobblestone you get the gravel, you smash the gravel to get the sand, you smash the sand to get the dust. And this is all going to be needed today because we are going to be going down the route of getting clay and hopefully getting into a tinker's smeltery. So let's actually look in here again at the quest tree. So yeah, we can see here the stone seeds, the hammer. I've followed the route here to get the furnace. But what I need to do is we've gone from the hammer to gravel to sand to dust. So now I need to work on getting clay. And we're also going to need some bone meal for all of this stuff. So I was a bit stuck because the only way I could think to get water was with a crucible. So the idea is that in the crucible, I think you put a heat source below it. I can't remember. We'll play with that as we're doing it today. But then you can put like leaves and stuff in there, and it will sort of melt, for sake of a better word, into water. But to get the clay for this, the porcelain clay, we need clay, and to make the clay, we need a crucible. So I was a bit like, hold up, like how's this gonna work? Well, I believe, oh, I didn't mean to double click that. There we go. We can make, yes, some wooden crucibles. So all we need is some logs, a slab, and some sticks. So let's get to that. We'll grab a few of those, come back to our crafting station. And then what did we need? We want some slabs, some sticks, and then I think we might be about there. 1 oak crucible. Lovely. Okay, and what I'm going to do is actually come over here. So even though I've got this wood essence farm, I do have an old school wood farm here because, yes, oak leaves. So I made some shears, obviously. And I'm going to pop that down here and I'm going to see, is that going to do anything? Ah, so we don't need to heat it. But yes, you can see there that the leaves are slowly sort of decomposing. And in the top left, we can see the solid volume is going down and the fluid volume is going up. So that is going to get us water. And we are, in fact, going to need a bucket to scoop that out. So let's make ourselves our first bucket. There we go. Lovely, beautiful stuff. And what I'm actually going to do is while I'm over here, let's grab, yeah, half a stack of dust will do for now. Okay, so it's taken a little while. A little while. I'm sorry, I was daydreaming off then, thinking that I do want to make an infinite water source. So for now, I'm just going to make it over here. I do want to actually, a lot of this is going to end up changing between this episode and next. Once I get into better materials and stuff, I do want to make the base a little bit nicer. But let's do that. Are you ready yet? Not yet. Can we add more in? We can't. Do I make another one? No, I'll tell you what, while that's doing, let's have a look in here and see if we can't do anything else. I don't think we can. Actually, yes, maybe. So the prosperity shards, these are just mined from prosperity or in the mining dimension. But what we want to look at doing is making the Inferium infusion crystal. So for that, we need some essence, which we got tons of. Prosperity shards, again, we've got. And then the Inferium gemstone. So we need a prosperity gemstone. And for that, we need a double compressed cobblestone. So let's grab a bunch of that. We'll compress that up. We actually need a few more. Like so. And then let's compress that down again. And yes, compressed cobble 2 times. Let's grab that quickly and we'll set another one up. Excellent. So that can work in the background. And then what did we need? We needed essence. Thank you. And some prosperity shards, which I believe are somewhere here. Yes, lots and lots of them. So let's remind myself. What was it called? Inferium. There it is. Inferium gemstone. So that we can make. And then we can do that. There we go. Quest complete. And then if I click on uses, we should now be able to make the Inferium fusion crystal. So uses left, it says 256. And this is going to allow us to turn Inferium into Prudentium, like so. So let's move that in. And yeah, you can see there that we lose a little bit of durability. But this is going to allow us to upgrade a few bits and pieces. So I could actually put this on the farmland and upgrade that and increase our secondary drops and stuff like that. But I'm not too bothered about that at the moment. That water is still going. Okay, so let's have another look in here then. So one of the things I do want to work towards is an Inferium furnace, because these work, you can see there the cooking speed is 120%, so it's 20% faster, but then we can use that Inferium furnace to make a Prudentium, and you can see that that's 160%, and even the fuel efficiency goes up, and then we use that and we upgrade to the tertium and so on and so forth, and eventually we're going to get to the insanium. which is 10,000 times quicker, and the fuel efficiency is 1,000%. So yeah, quite extreme. Let's have a quick snooze. There we go. Yeah, we'll have a quick snooze. I think we'll quickly make at least this Inferium furnace. So let's grab that. And what did we need? Okay, so the essence we've got, I believe that's a block which we can make. No, we can't. We don't have enough on us. And I think for the ingots, we need... Do we need iron? Let's grab the iron anyway. Okay, so we'll take 1 block of that, please. Oh, it's a prosperity ingot. Okay, how many of them? We can make 2 of those. Excellent. Yeah, 2 of them. And then I think that now... Yes, the Inferium furnace. So let's throw that down and let's put something in to cook. What can we cook? I mean, it's not much noticeable. It is definitely a little bit quicker, but anyway. Right, so the water now should be a thing, and we can actually start making some clay. Do you know what? I think I want to move this closer. There we go. Throw that there, and then I believe we can put water in, put the dust in, and for that we get clay. So I'm going to do this a couple of times. And we've completed a quest for that. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Wrong way round. Right, let's do 1 more. Actually, let's do another, and then we're at 8. A nice round number. Okay then, so clay obtained. Oh. So bone meal. Okay, we can actually make bone meal. We need to make a composter, don't we? So let's go and grab that. I don't know why I came all this way. Probably needed to anyway for the wood, and I know that I can access the chest there. I'm a bit backwards. Okay, so let's have a look. No, can I spell it right? Composter. Now there is a modded version. I think it's a barrel. Let's go with that for now, though. And let's actually have a look. Yeah, these barrels. I'm not sure what the difference is. Let's do a little comparison, shall we? So let's click on uses. And then along the top here, you can see that there's compost. So that's basically exactly the same as the vanilla composter. We've got fluid item transformation. So using different waters and different blocks, you can transform things basically. So if we had some witch water in there, on top of some if we had witch water and put sand in the witch water, we would get soul sand. So yeah, there's a few transformations there. There's fluid on top, so basically we can turn lava into obsidian and then sort of pick that obsidian out. So it means that we don't have to mine it. And we could actually make ourselves a cobblestone generator. And then we've got the fluid transforming. So to turn water into seawater, you put it above some sand. You can see here for witch water, we put it above mycelium. But we're not going to worry too much about that for now. So let's see. I'm going to pop that here for now. And let's throw some leaves in. Okay, so this takes a little bit of time, whereas the vanilla one, we just fill it. But look at that, we are losing a lot there. Oh, of course it makes... What a donut. Okay, so it's a good thing we made both because they do different things. Right, so there we go. We have got a piece of bone meal. Now, I'm sure that's a quest, is it not? We need 7. Okay. Let's throw that in. I need to get a bunch more leaves. Now, I'm curious, actually. Can we make leaves? I don't think we can. It's worth having a look though. No, we can make the saplings and the logs, but not actually the leaves themselves. So let's grab all of those leaves, because we don't need them for water anymore. And let's quickly plough through this. So we need 7 bone meal, and that'll be because we need 7 pieces of that porcelain clay. So there we go, we're up to 4. And there we go, we have 7 bone meal there. And then I think we need to break up a few of these. Come in here and then let's make our porcelain clay. Do only need 7. And then can we cook that up in here? I didn't mean to do that. Oh, no, we don't. We, in fact, do this for our unfired crucible, and then we throw that in and we cook it. Right, so while that is doing, we can look in here. So yes, you can see we've gone from bone meal and clay. We've got the porcelain clay. None of these have rewards. We're currently cooking it, and then we should be able to look at getting lava. So that, if I remember rightly, we do. In fact, I think we can put it above here as a heat source. Let's throw that down, and then I think yes. So you can see this is now doing exactly what the leaves were doing in the other one, but we're actually cooking. We're melting the cobblestone. Now I believe that that's full, so that just needs a bit of time now. And then we can get the lava, we can then work towards the obsidian, and we can then get to the nether. I'm not sure how much of a rush I am to get into the nether. Maybe we check that out next episode. But before the end of today's episode, I do want to look at getting into Tinker's Smeltery. So we need to make some seared bricks. And to make the seared bricks, we need grout. I am grout. And to make grout, we need some gravel, some sand, and some clay, which we've got on us. We are going to need some more. Let's remind myself, I think it's 4 of those, 4 of those, and 1 of those. And there we go. I am grout. And we get a whole bunch of that. But even though it looks like a lot, it's not. So that 40 is going to turn into 40 bricks. And then we need 4 bricks for each block. As well as all the other bits and pieces. So let me grind a whole bunch of seared bricks, and then I will come back to you guys. And with the help of a few extra furnaces to speed it up, I do now have a few more seared bricks, and I've also managed to get myself some glass. So what we need now is a heater, seared heater. Press the wrong button there. So let's make 1 of those, and that heater is in fact gonna power a seared melter. So I need to make a fuel gauge. Yes, I will take 1 of you, then make the heater, the melter. And now this is going to enable us. So this is part 1 for those of you that haven't messed about with Tinkers. I believe this is part 1 of getting ourselves set up. So this heater we can put in like burnable, like solid fuel sources, whether that's coal or in this case oak, I think. Can I put wood in there? I might not be able to. Let's grab some coal just in case. It probably won't fire up because I've got nothing on top. So what we do need to do is actually get ourselves some copper. And there we go, let's throw them in. So yes, you can see that the coal's being used, it's being burnt up, the copper is melting. And for each copper ore chunk, we're going to get 1 ingot plus 3 nuggets. So 1, 2, 3 ingots, and then the 3, 6, 9 nuggets. Well, it's 9 nuggets for an ingot, so we should now have 4 ingots of copper in there. So we've gained a little bit extra for that. But if we get up to the second stage, the smeltery, we can in fact double our ore production. So what we need to do now is make ourselves a casting basin, and we need to make ourselves a drain. And then when these quests move out of the way, I don't know if I can see it up here. No, we need to make the controller. So the smeltery controller. So to do that, we need the seared heater, which we've actually already got a seared heater here. So let's scoop that up. Let's pop a drain on there, a basin below it. We're going to throw the heater inside the basin and then pour the copper on top. So this now is going to be the brain for our new smeltery. And I do love myself a bit of tinkers. And there we go. One smeltery controller. So let's now scoop these back up. And we need to look at making ourselves an actual smeltery. Now, all of this is going to be very temporary because I am going to be moving things about. Let's make a whole bunch of them. Probably not enough. Let's see. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll just make a little mini smeltery for now. So we need a base. The cobblestone is just here to build on top of. So there's our base, our floor. We then start building some walls up and around. We put the controller down, and you can see that we've got a red square here because we're still missing a block. We need to seal this up. But what I want to do is we need a drain of sorts. A seared drain. And I'm a donut, aren't I? Oh, I needed 2 more copper, did I? Hold on, let me have a look into this. So I've had to make myself a new seared heater to power our melter again, and I'm back at where I was before. We've got 4 copper ingots in there waiting, and now we need to get them out. Now I'm not sure what the capacity is. We can put 9 ingots in here, and then I could have used the basin and poured out a whole block, but I don't actually have enough copper for that. So what I'm going to do is, instead of going to the mining dimension, I'm going to make myself a seared casting table, which we can pop down under here. And then what we can do is, if I grab some sand and an ingot, we could throw... No, we don't do it like that. We need an ingot cast. So a blank sand cast is literally, is it that? Am I doing that right? Yes, okay. Didn't want to do that. Right, so the sand goes in, and then we put the ingot in to make an ingot sort of print, like an imprint into it, if that makes sense. And then we can cast the copper. Now the problem is with the sand ones is we're only going to be able to use that once. But that is fine because we don't actually need many. I remember, I think we only need 2. Yes, it is. So let's grab that. Come over here and we can do a little bit of this. A couple of those. Grab ourselves a seared drain. And we can now attach that here. And there we go. You just saw it do a little change of how it looked. And I can click on this now. And you can see that we've got 4 slots. Because the slots are relative to how much space is in here. And you can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks of space. Now, I could use some more seared bricks and build it up. You can even build it wider as well. You can have like a 3x3. I don't even think it needs to be square. I think you could do like a 3x2, but we're gonna stick with this for now. And the reason I want this, and I could have done it in here theoretically, but let's move this over. So we'll pop that down. We'll stick a drain on the side. But the reason I've done this is because I want to start making some tinker's tools. So let's come over here and grab some iron. Now, we're going to hit a wall here. A wall that we would not have hit if we were still using the original seared melter. Well, there's no tank for a start. That's a very good point. But we've also got nothing to fuel it with. So let's go and make ourselves a tank. One seared fuel tank. It was that recipe. I couldn't remember off the top of my head. And let's actually grab that out, pop that in, and because we were quite quick, it didn't affect anything. It did break it, but then it fixed it. So yes, we need some lava. And have we got? There's a bit of lava in there. Is it enough though? Have I got my bucket? I do. Ah ha 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 ha! Excellent. So yes, that is why we wanted our crucible. So we can pop that in there now. And if we look in the interface, we can see that we've got some lava. The temperature is set at 1000 degrees. And we can also see that our iron is actually cooking now. And 1, 2, 3, 4 iron ore chunks should turn into 8 ingots. And there we go. Molten iron, 8 ingots. So the next thing we want to do is look at making ourselves a pickaxe head. So let me see in here. I have nothing. And I do in fact need, hold on, we need a couple of patterns. So what we need to do is make a stone pickaxe head, and then very much like the ingot that we made, let's throw some sand in. We put our stone in, our stone pickaxe head to make that imprint, and then we can in fact pour ourselves a lovely iron pickaxe head. Beautiful stuff. I'm going to have a quick snooze. Quick snooze-erino. Excellent. And do I have all the bits and pieces in my chest? I'm hoping I do. Is it going to... It's not. Of course it's not. I was hoping it would just let us make it in there. Let's see though. Let's just, for now, I'm just going to go for a wooden binding. Hold on, I feel like I'm being a right derp. There we go. So yes, I didn't show this off actually, but I did make a tinker station. So this is how we're going to make our tools. So we need a pickaxe head. Now, different materials for different parts will do different things, but for now I'm just going to stick with a wooden binding and a wooden handle and make ourselves a very basic iron pickaxe. I could probably use stone. Would that be better? Maybe, but I'm going to go with that for now. And then basically this is going to allow me, when we go over into the mining dimension, which our block is here. Oh, very noisy. But yeah, you can see I have been quite busy making all these tunnels, but a lot of them I've had to stop because, for instance, this here, is this silver? Yes. I needed an iron pickaxe for. So now we can grab that. But most importantly, and this is where I want to tie this episode up today, if I come down here, I was on the hunt for diamonds. And yes, look at this. We actually found... Oh, there's a few here. Very nice indeed. It's a bit dark as well. It's very dark. And we're going to want some redstone at some point. But yeah, I can come down here now and just, you know, go a bit crazy with the mining. Is that my death marker? So I did have a death... Is that a death marker? What is that? Maybe it is, but yeah, I came through at one point, and there was a creeper waiting for me. What a nice... Oh, yeah, he was such a nice guy. It was like a little welcome party for me. But yeah, the reason that we're wanting diamonds is because next episode, I do in fact want to look into... Where is it? Here. So diamond sticks, and we can then get into oak sieves. The reason we want sieves is because we're going to want seeds. So if we look down here at animals, it says to make grass, you will had to sift. Basically, you got to sift out for seeds, And there's a chance of getting grass seeds, which we can then put on dirt and start getting grass and progressing. So yeah, next episode we're gonna get onto the sieving. We're gonna chase down the route of the animals, and I think otherwise, I mean, we could definitely start looking at getting ourselves into the nether. Some of this stuff is going to be a bit grindy, so this will take a while getting upgrading our essences from the Prudentium all the way up to the Insanium. I need to look into the Jumbo Furnace. I haven't made it yet because it's a nice big furnace, but it's not really any quicker. And along with the big furnace, we made all the components, but I didn't build the colossal chest. So I think we'll do that next episode as well, because as I said, I do want to have a little move around with some of the base. It's very practical right now, which I love, but aesthetically it's not too pleasing. So yeah, that's a job for me to do in between this episode and the next. But anyway, I'm going to wrap it up there. Hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, hit that like button on the way out before you leave. And until the next one, take care, stay cool, bye bye.